All right. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Audio is working. Everything's working as far as I know. So move that, and I think we're good to go. So, hey everybody. Hope you guys are all having a good morning. Loki says hello. He's very, very excited. He knows I have treats today, so he's really excited for a treat. And he'll get one. Well, I guess he'll get a partial on it here if he can come over. Oh, I guess he wants to come over there. All right. Anyway. Hope you guys are all having a good morning. Normally I wouldn't just wake up at midnight and go streaming right now, but at my alerts, my phone started to have alerts this morning, which is currently around like 1 o'clock my time. And I looked at my phone and I see Bitcoin dropping quite a bit, and I'm like, damn, what's going on? So I decided to let Loki use the bathroom. I went to go pour myself a big thing of water with a straw, that way I can drink it efficiently. And then I got myself some cigars here. So this will be a long night, even though I just told you guys I wasn't going to be doing many long nights. I was going to take tonight off, but when you see Bitcoin dropping like 5-6%, you kind of have to, observe what's going on. And because a lot of my my limit orders hit over the last few hours here, so right now I'm going to have to adjust my strategy because I was hoping that we might have a hold here. I know I was talking about the daily oscillators and the type of breakouts and stuff like that, and we'll be talking about all that here pretty soon. But man, what a freaking last 12 hours. And hey Ty, hey Juan, hope you guys are all doing a good day here. Let me put on something like a poll. So, how low are we going? Maybe something like that. So let me say 62K. That way we can actually have some fun with this. 61K. Less than 60K. There we go. There we go. Not too bad. So hey Ty, hey Wahid, Havoc, Randy, hope you guys are all having a good morning here. I know it's morning time for me, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Hey babe, Drifter, click this video so fast, what's going on? I haven't had a chance to check yet, I literally just popped on. Here, let's start off with a technical analysis perspective here, and good morning Mr. Rolls and Miles and the Diamond Life, thanks you guys. Let's just break down what was going on with the technicals. So over the last few days, the only reason I said I was bearish back over here, when's the last time we started streaming? Sunday? Is it daily chart? Monday? Okay, yeah. The only time I said I was really bearish on Saturday was because the oscillators. Remember, we don't talk about, well, no, we do talk about these quite a bit. Sorry, I'm still waking up. Bearish, 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 that type of stuff, plus breaking down with the 20-day moving average. That's the only reason I was so bearish over the last few days. But I was hoping, if you guys remember here from, Saturday? That there might be an opportunity for a breakout here that might stagnate some of the losses. And we did have that breakout. It was a very weird and abnormal breakout, but nonetheless, we had the breakout here, and then we just weren't able to continue pushing back up. So what happened after with that is, of course, the oscillators once going bullish over here on the 1 hour chart, or maybe the 4 hour chart for just a little bit of time, everything started turning more bearish here, and then you saw this kind of flush happening. So right now it seems like we do want to go back down towards $62,000 or maybe even $60,000. So I'm patiently waiting this out. One of the good things I think about the market right now is it is giving you guys a lot of buying opportunities. During these moments though, people tend to freak out or they invest too much and then they feel bad about investing too early. Don't feel pressured to buy into a market that you don't necessarily like unless you guys have some type of longer term plans. If you guys recall, I told you guys this is going to be great for day traders, but if you guys are swing traders, it wasn't going to be the best thing for you. And part of that was over here, it didn't last for more than a couple days, right? It lasted for 1 day, maybe 2 days if you want to add that in there, and then it really just kind of fell apart after that. Now, here's where I think some optimism comes into play. The weekly charts right now, they are turning over a little bit here. We have the RSI and the stochastic looking like they're about to go bearish by the end of this week. The MACD is still bullish at this point in time. But to me, this symbolizes that, hey, we've kind of peaked for a few weeks, and then we're going to have something of a larger pullback that does bring us back down to either $62,000 if something good happens with Jerome Powell on Wednesday. Other than that, we could come all the way back down to $52,000 or so. And that's going to be where things get a little bit tricky. If we do end up falling back down there, the price of $52,000 or $53,000 is not something that I necessarily am going to be very concerned about. What I am going to be concerned about instead is what happens with us in the 20-week moving average here. We've been above this for quite a bit of time. It doesn't always matter if we do break down below it, like we broke down below it here and here. You could say there was a little bit of volatility involved, maybe, but this one not really. This one, yeah. But that's an opportunity for a lot of volatility to be there, which can freak people out a little bit more. But it seems like we've reached a peak. We're coming back down pretty hard, and maybe over the short term here until Wednesday, we come back down to maybe $62,000, $60,000. After that, we're going to have to see some type of hold. And I don't mean just a hold of a certain, level, whether that be like $60,000, $55,000, nothing like that. I want to see oscillators be able to hold for a little bit longer and then have that switch. So right now, I'm not going to be very bullish on Bitcoin until we start to see all of the daily oscillators going back to being bullish territory. Even if that means Bitcoin has some type of robust bounce out of nowhere, and then we start going sky high, even though the oscillators are kind of bearish like they're over here, right? Although they did turn green like right there, but still. That means I'm not going to be necessarily buying this breakout that happens. Part of the reason is I've been able to dollar cost average on a few different tokens, whether that be Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name the meme tokens, you name the AI tokens, you name every other token out there. I've been trying to, dollar cost average into those, and I have a pretty good size so far. My big thing is the next time I buy, I want to be looking at some swing trades here. And these swing trades are not, the openings are not ideal, right? Especially when you go over here and look at different altcoins. Ethereum's been bearish since here. Solana's been bearish. Oh, Solana's not even fully bearish yet. So Solana probably has the hardest to fall. Right now because of everything going on. But even things like XRP that really haven't been doing anything, they're still managing to fall after having a decent bounce day yesterday. So the way I'm going to be trading this, because I know people don't necessarily want to try to catch a falling knife, is I'm just going to wait this out, wait for some stability. Once I see that stability, then we have a breakout with all the oscillators kind of pointing in the right direction. I'll be more optimistic about going into that. Right now, though, because of the weekly charts, I'm definitely just going to be taking a little bit of a breather from buying up a whole bunch of stuff over here. Because if everything starts to turn around over here, that's where we start to go back down below around $55,000, $50,000, something like that. Now, so far, it doesn't look like a lot. Bitcoin's only come down how much? 13%. It's not the end of the world here, However, altcoins, I think, are where you're seeing the most damage. Like if you go over here to Dogecoin very fast and you go from the peak that we saw over here, it's down about 36%, although the last week it's not nearly down that much. Ape token over here, this one is down currently, went down as far as 34%, So that's one of the things I'm going to be watching for here over the next few weeks. I've already had limit orders that bought some stuff today, not nearly as much as I probably should have after this type of dump, but I'm just going to be patient to wait it out until I see something that significantly changes. Now, because I just woke up and I wanted to go live with you guys and stuff like that, let me go see if there's any Bitcoin news here off of X, or if I can go over here to CoinDesk. Well, that's coinmarketcap.com. It still works out for me. And over here, because I remember this afternoon, I was working on some YouTube stuff and I was checking out the hedge funds and whatnot, and ETFs. They were still buying up Bitcoin today, so there wasn't much going on as far as I saw from some of the larger players. Bitcoin flash crashed to 8.9K on Bitmex. That is insane. Bitmex. Well, be careful of Bitmex here, because that is wild. I should not do that. Let's see. Any other news? I don't want to necessarily like read the article about Bitmex. I just want to see what happened with Bitcoin. Let's see. I mean, imagine having a limit order to buy Bitcoin at $9,000. You're probably happy with that. Let's see. Okay, so what we can do is actually check this out on Bitmex or on the X account. There's gonna be a lot of looking over on X right now. Let's say Jim Cramer. Let's see. Some guy got filled on old limit orders at $10,000 Bitcoin on Bitmex is currently euphoric. No, This guy has to get out of Bitmex. He has to move his crypto over to something like a Coinbase. Then he can feel safe. Because if you're on Bitmex right now, you are probably not very happy. Let's see. Bonk. I haven't seen any. Let's see. Where is this news that they were just talking about? Social media. Let's see. Someone just dumped 400 plus Bitcoin over 2 hours and 10 to 50 Bitcoin clips on the XBT USDT pair on Bitmex, eating 30% slippage. Ooh, they must have lost 40 million, 4+ million at least. Ah, okay. We have not disabled withdrawals for all users, but only a few accounts that are part of the investigation. Okay. So I wonder if somebody just dumped this specifically on Bitmex, for maybe, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure. Let's go over here and see if there's any news. It's just a little dip. The Bitcoin halving is in 33 days. I feel like that's a lot of people right now. Sounds crazy, but this is exactly the type of Bitcoin daily chart you want to see in a bull market. Embrace it. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That is true. Weekly support is weekly support, and the long-term outlook hasn't changed. Dips are part of the game. Well, let's see. I don't know if we necessarily hold that support level here. So he's going back to that. Remember, we used to have a bar up on the screen before we broke out. Let me get rid of all these other timelines that we had over here. You know, some of these levels of support. Where's my rectangle? There you go. I guess there's different ways to actually put these onto your charts, but let's just have it be something like this. You can even make this go to the body of the candle to kind of have a little more density to it. And maybe the body of this candle right here to add more density to it. There you go. Okay. All right. I don't know if we necessarily hold this. I know all-time highs were already, below the previous all-time high of $69,000. But to me, this symbolizes that, I mean, I'm not selling anything, but it symbolizes to me that we need to see Bitcoin come down quite a bit more, consolidate for a while, and then look for a breakout. Now, throughout this process, there will be the Bitcoin halving. Following that breakout after the halving should be when things get really, really interesting again. But again, the halving is still about a month away. What is it at now? 32 days away? If you're buying right now, you're just buying the perceived dip ahead of that move. But again, I already bought enough. I'm going to be patient about this and kind of wait this one out. Because typically, remember, usually when Bitcoin hits all-time highs, I don't like seeing this type of stagnation where we have the death cross and stuff, because usually that death cross is a big sign to me to get out of a lot of assets. I'm not doing it this time around if we do have this death cross, primarily because the Bitcoin halving hasn't happened and everything moved up so fast so early that I think this pattern is just going to be one that dies off, unfortunately, during this cycle. But I'll be waiting patiently. As we look at Bitcoin right now, we're still kind of a danger zone where we could fall down even more. You can see we've tried to bounce back up a few times over the last few hours, and none have been able to hold. But again, let's wait this one out. The oscillators have been kind of all over the place on the 15s. Pepe coin pump or dump? It depends on what you want to do with it. There's probably a lot of people buying Pepe for longer term holding. But if you bought Pepe a few days ago because you thought it was going to go straight up or something like that, the way I would describe it is, how would I describe it? You probably need to have a stop loss to protect yourself from things like this. Otherwise, right now, you're probably holding some type of a bag. That's why over the what did I say, Friday? I said Friday I would probably stay away from swing trades. I would only do day trading, because the day trades you can get in and out pretty quickly. Those swing trades, especially if you're trading spot, I don't think a lot of exchanges allow stop losses on spot trades. So right now, I would have already stopped out of Pepe if I had a swing trade there. But all of my positions stopped out Friday, so it's been kind of a few days before I really wanted to get back into the market here. Excuse me, guys. My nose is acting up a little bit here. But yeah, I would have already been stopped out. As far as Pepe is concerned right now, if you want like actual technical analysis on it, it's going to look pretty darn brutal. So it's down 10% so far today. Look over here on the weekly chart. It's kind of similar chart to Bitcoin here, but you can see, boom, we had the breakout a while ago. That was the opportune time to buy, plus scaling out over here. But there was a breakout over here. This was what, back in 8th of March. It went up a little bit. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. But since then, it really hasn't had the largest of moves. This breakout probably produced what, 40%? Well, actually, 40% is actually not that bad after a breakout. But if you manage to hold for a little bit too long, it looks like you're in a little bit more pain right now. That's for sure. So yeah, most of your stop losses would have probably hit this one. So I'm not going to be rooting for this. Well, I don't want to say I'm not rooting for it, but you see the death cross right here on the 4-hour chart. You see over here on the daily charts already breaking back down to 20. That's not a good sign here. To me, Pepe is probably going to be coming back down probably to like what, 45, 8,000. Sorry for the weird number, but 45, 8,000 levels back over here. It seems like it come down quite a bit more. If you're long-term investing, this isn't the worst thing that's going to happen to you today. But, you know, definitely take precautions, I would say. I'd only be buying right now if you're looking for long-term type of gains. For me, I've already had enough of that, and I'm basically just waiting to see what's going to happen here. Hi, Tayson. Oh, I bet they are. Let me go over here very quickly. It's going to work. Let me zoom out a little bit. There you go. There we go. We're down 300 bucks on those Fairdesk trades now. We got a few things that are up. One is AVAX. Every other thing is down quite a bit right now. So this Thursday, we are going to have to be loading up on a lot of different tokens here. A lot of different tokens. But let me see. AVAX and Floki, of all things, are the ones that are up. I'm surprised Floki's still up here. Only by 1%, though. AVAX is still up about 25% since we bought it, or 50x, you know, from the long term here. But yeah, even big time is down 125% or so. So a lot of what's happening this Thursday is going to be doubling down a lot of these trades, because, you know, it's going to be a set thing every Thursday. Regardless of the market, we're just going to keep on buying. But yeah, definitely taking a hit there. Hey Chris, I'd be careful with AVAX right now just because of what's going on. I'm not going to be swing trading anything. If you want to day trade AVAX, I mean, it's coming down quite a bit today. Really haven't had a nice breakout since here with momentum. A little bit of a breakout right there, but I wouldn't have traded that one. Let's see. 4-hour chart. I wouldn't say it's the best time right now. I mean, I'm looking at it, and of course it's gone up a lot higher than Bitcoin over the last few days, that's for sure. But what I'm looking at here is if we keep on going down this path, we're just going to have a death cross between the 20 and the 50, and I'll most likely bring it back down here towards $51, which will not be the best thing. And AVAX isn't known for not being able to have these larger moves down. Like a few days ago, just during a 4-hour period of time, it went down, what, 10%. So I would anticipate a larger move coming down for AVAX here pretty soon, unless Bitcoin can manage to fix itself. And right now, Bitcoin hasn't consolidated enough to say, hey, I'm done falling right now. Especially with the volatility that's going on in around the inflation battle with Jerome Powell over the next few days. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on today even. And then, of course, what is it, on Wednesday afternoon, or is it, no, Wednesday morning, I think is when it is. I'm probably not going to be streaming there during that time because I'm going to be tired, but somebody will be. All right, there we go. It looks like it already got bought up right here at the order block too, so there was an opportunity to be bought, but it got bought up a little bit too fast. Not my favorite thing to trade right now. If you're looking to day trade, give it a shot if you want to, but I mean, I'm looking at all these also, they're saying sell, sell, sell. Oh, the 4-hour just went sell for the first time, but since way back over here when it first started to go off. Yeah, right over there. So I'd be patient with it. If you want to do a dollar cost average, yeah. Or I would just say make sure you have a stop loss if you're looking to buy. Like if you want to buy right now, just have your stop loss right there at 55.14. It eliminates all the downside. So if you do think it's going to go up for whatever reason, it can start going back up here to $64. Then the risk to reward ratio is going to be working for you. So that'd probably be the better way of going about it. Yeah, and so far, like I was telling you guys a few minutes ago, we haven't figured out the Bitcoin hasn't sent that signal. Jesus, Bitcoin hasn't sent that signal just yet, saying, "Hey, I'm done falling." So we're gonna have to watch this pretty closely. We can probably put this on maybe a 5-minute chart just so we can watch this a little bit closely here, a little bit more closely. I'm gonna light up a cigar because I haven't smoked in a few weeks or days. Excuse me. Let's start off with this one. I only brought down 1 Cuban for today, but if I'm gonna smoke something during a drastic time, probably should be a Cuban. Especially since the Cubans are kind of like protesting like crazy right now. Excuse me. But yeah, we're still getting hammered pretty hard right now. How's that feel now? Forgot where I put my knife. All right, there we go. Whew. Hey, Mira, any news? The only news I've been able to hear so far of is that somebody like sold off a mass amount of Bitcoin on Bitfinex or Bitmex. Sorry, not Bitfinex, Bitmex. And it pretty much has not been going well over with the market. The price on Bitfinex or Bitmex. I'm gonna mess up these things. There's so many freaking names like it. On Bitmex, the price on Bitmex went down to $8,000 something. Some guy got filled on unlimited orders, so basically it went all the way down quite a bit to $8,000. Let me see if I can actually find more information for you guys. Did someone sell the Bitcoin for $10,000 by accident? Probably. Bitcoin just hit 63,577. Excuse me. That's an important chart right there. Let's see, where's it at? That's it. Yeah, Bitcoin hit $10,000 on Bitmex liquidation wick. Richard Hart called this in April 2021, almost 3 years ago. There we have it. I don't know who the heck that was, but yeah. It's funny how you can feel poor with Bitcoin at 64K. That is actually pretty interesting. No, it basically seems like all the news is around Bitmex. That Bitcoin work on Bitmex is absolutely insane. Yeah. So it seems like somebody just managed to sell off a whole bunch of Bitcoin on Bitmex, and it kind of freaked everybody out here. A spot buyer is interested at $60,000. Let's see. That's the Bitcoin graph I'm looking at. Oh, let's see. No, it seems like one guy just sold off a lot of Bitcoin on Bitmex, and Bitmex couldn't handle it, and so it just went into free fall mode across multiple exchanges. David, if you're looking to buy, well, if you're looking to buy anything right now, it's going to be for longer term gains, right? So you can start dollar cost averaging right now if you wanted to. The big thing is Bitcoin hasn't signaled that it wants to finish falling, so if you want a dollar cost average, now is the time. If you want to get these discounts, as I would say. But if you're looking for a trade that you buy right now and you make a few bucks over the next few hours, that's going to be a little bit more of no matter what the technicals on Shiba are going to be, it's probably not going to be the best thing just because, again, Bitcoin hasn't figured itself out. So in the daily chart for Shiba, it's also broken down below the 20-day moving average a few days ago. We weren't able to break above that larger level of resistance. We're currently on the way back down here to 2261. And then from there, if we're not able to hold, we'll probably see it come all the way back down here to 1829 or so. So dollar cost averaging this, yes. Day trading this or swing trading this, going to be a little bit more problematic until you start to see some bullish momentum pick back up. Remember, the guys, the ways that I normally like to trade are, let me go back over here to Bitcoin very fast. Let me just double check to see if we're falling down or not. It'll follow, it won't. Let's go here. All right. The way typically I like to trade when it comes to these bull markets here, or any market, is if Bitcoin is bullish right here, like you see the oscillators, it's in a buy mode over here, or green right there, or green right here where everything is kind of like in a bullish mode as far as the oscillators are concerned. I am more likely to go long in these situations and start buying for swing trades and such. But when we start going bearish like we did over here, I typically don't go long during those times until everything kind of settles back down. And then what that does is it does two things for me. One, sometimes I don't necessarily get to catch the bottom, right? Because that's the bad thing here. But when I do manage to buy back in, I'm usually looking at some pretty good profits once I buy back in. So in this example, I guess you go back over here. This is when Bitcoin turned bullish again. So you notice that I didn't buy right down here off of this change of character or this right there. I bought right here. But after I bought, it continued to go up, and I'm pretty happy with those types of moves. But basically you saw momentum shift back in my favor, which is what I was hoping for. I just want the confidence to know when I buy, it goes up, right? Right now, I'm not having that confidence. That's why I told you guys back on Friday, I'm not swing trading right now because I'm afraid of something larger coming down. Although I wasn't expecting it to come down today. I thought it might come down tomorrow or something. Because we had a smaller breakout on Friday. Or maybe Saturday. Let's go back over here. And we're trying to have a higher low here. It's not the strongest, but it's there. It's there. Let's go over here to the 15-minute chart. There you go. You can definitely see this momentum has just been coming down quite a bit since 5:45 p.m. it looks like. Definitely been getting hit hard. Yeah, because afterwards we got smashed down a little bit more. Do I think we're going to have a small pump if we keep dumping? Yeah, so, well, that small pump would probably only last until later on today. And by today, I mean like right now where I live, it's 1:25 in the morning. In the morning, like, for this day, I would anticipate, there's an opportunity for something of a pop once we start to slow down, probably on the 15-minute chart, wherever that comes across. But coming into tomorrow, we have the FOMC meeting right here. So this one is going to happen the 19th and the 20th. It started today. Tomorrow is the big day here. That's all you got to worry about. And then tomorrow, if I go over here to CNBC, you'll see an article about it most likely. Bank of Japan into the world's only negative rates regime and historic move abandons yield curve control. Oh, geez. Okay. Parts of the world might be kind of freaking out right now. Where is it at? Okay, normally they have stories about this because it comes up, but let's see. Defense spending. Okay, there must have been a lot of news happening over the last few hours. I'm looking at all this news happening right now. It's all the news outside the United States for the most part, but that's fine. All right, let's go to FOMC. That's 131. Wow, they don't have much stuff actually on it right now, which is interesting. Okay, futures right now are down as well, but I guess we just got to go to old-fashioned FOMC meeting. News. There you go, bank rate. This is good. Preview of the March Fed meeting. The top 3 trends to watch is hotter inflation delays the Fed rate cuts. So I'm just going to read the key takeaways to make this really easy for everybody. The Federal Reserve is expected to leave borrowing costs at 23-year high of 5.25 to 5%, or 5.5%, excuse me, pushing back on investors' hopes that it'll be a quick to cut interest rates. Inflation is not slowing as quickly as it once was, with consumer prices rising 3.2% in February and hitting a harder 3.8% when excluding food and energy. Consumers should focus on paying off debt and improving their credit score, as interest rates are expected to stay high for the foreseeable future. That's not what the market wants to see. Oh, and there we go. Jeez. They're really trying to bash us down again and again. This is the second crash we've covered in a matter of a week. Let's see. In ASL, averaging down is something that, yeah, that's definitely something you can do right now if you want to. That's not a bad thing to do. But for those people, they know while averaging down and stuff, like, well, there's different ways of looking at it. If you're buying anything right now, you're probably looking to be holding on to it for weeks, if not months, because that's how long it's going to take for you to get those really large amounts of profit. There are people in this channel that have been here with me for quite a bit of time, and they're averaging up even at these drop price, right? They're still averaging up, which is a different type of mentality to have here. Averaging down is not going to be a bad thing at this point in time. You're going to see people doing it all over the place, but those people aren't looking to make money in the next few days or something like that. They're looking to make a good amount of money over the next few weeks, the next few months. That's the difference in mindset that you need to have if you're buying up tokens right now. I'm not buying up anything because I've already dollar cost average today because a lot of my limit orders hit, fortunately. But I'll let you guys know when I start to buy more heavily, when I'm starting to look at breakouts and stuff. But that's not going to be for a couple weeks at least, unless Bitcoin does something very, very drastic, you know, where we have a large move off of some news that we get maybe later on tomorrow evening. And again, this is like Wednesday morning, but I'll be streaming a little bit later on in the evening there. And there we go. 1 minute chart. They're trying to push us down, but I don't know if they're going to be able to here. Broke the floor, yeah. All right, pull this back out to the 5 here. We got eaten back up there a little bit more. That's kind of nice to see. We'll see if it keeps on getting pushed down though. There we are. All right, but just as a quick little heads up here before we watch this possibly go down a little bit more. The biggest losers of today are going to be Bonk, Floki, and Pepe, and Whiff. Those are some of the hottest meme tokens that we've had over the past few months, I would say, right? After that, we got some Render, which is down quite a bit. Theta, Ajax, a lot of those things, Fetch AI, a lot of those big ones have been coming down. Even stuff like Gala, World Token, they've definitely been coming down as of late. The biggest winners here today, really not really winners, but you know, since they didn't fall, they're okay. FTM is up 3.5%. APT is basically unch, and a whole bunch of stable coins here. So not really much has been able to hold on here. All right, let's go over here to page number 2 just so you can see some of the more volatile stuff. If my Google account will let me. Fresh. Okay. Sometimes you just have to do that. We got OM is up 28% so far today. DEX is up 1.4%. On the other side here, Book of Meme is down 30. I know Book of Meme has been something that a lot of people have been buying into over the last few days. It definitely got hit hard. If you guys want to buy into it, by all means go for it. I bought some today. It was like down like 45%, and I was like, I've been looking for an opportunity to buy in. I finally found one. I don't know if it's going to be done falling right now though or not. And you got a lot of stuff down about 10, 20% or so.